Bush was saying the Afghan people were brutalized, the things what he was saying about Afghanistan all was true. Some people say he's just saying rubbish things, but it was true what he was saying. There were no education for girls, no women, even the rights of women were worse than other things. The women, even they were not counted as part of human beings. No one had rights, but still the women were more oppressed in the regime of Taliban. There were no schools, no universities, even women were not allowed to go out of home. They had to sit at home all the time. And what they did, I'm one of the victims, and everybody like that. Taliban arrested me 2 times and they shaved my hair. And they beat me to death. Why? Because, and even I had turban or I had the hat on my head. Because they said, you made the shape of your hair like Westerns. And the Westerns are the non-Muslims. So you have to be punished for that. So you can just imagine what was their thoughts. And last week I explained you about Wahhabism, and which is out of a theory out of the philosophy of Islam. So they are the followers of Wahhabism. They destroyed the Afghan police. They destroyed the Afghan National Army. There were no armies, no police. There were no economical foundations. They destroyed the historical heritages of Afghanistan. The biggest statue of Buddha was in Afghanistan. They blew it up. They said this is the god of infidels. But we had it since thousands of years there. Nobody touched it. But this regime, this was the darkest regime in Afghanistan, and which the human history has ever experienced in it. They commit genocides. They killed minorities of Afghanistan. Afghanistan is a country with different kind of ethnic groups living there, different languages. They start killing the minorities who were not looking like them. Hazaras and Tajik. So there were no hopes. There were no hopes that Afghanistan will be liberated from the Taliban's hand because of their power and because of the support they had in their back. The last person, Commander Ahmad Shah Massoud, he was rebelling Taliban, and he was only killed 2 days before 9/11. About Ahmad Shah Massoud, he was in the year 2001 in Europe, his last trip in March. He said in the European Parliament, please help the security of Afghanistan. Otherwise, this is not the problem of only the problem of Afghanistan and the people of Afghanistan. This will come to you. And in another speech he had in Paris, the same month, he said, my direct message is to Mr. Bush, please interfere in Afghanistan security. Help us to provide security. Otherwise, tomorrow this will affect you. You will be damaged. Then before it's too late, let's start action. But nobody listened to him. And I put links of the videos that he had speak in Paris and in the European Parliament. You can see in the links. There was not much time to play the videos. So Afghanistan after Taliban or after 9/11, Taliban were removed from the power, which was it was not possible. There was no power in Afghanistan existing. There were no hopes to remove Taliban's regime from power. But the only power which removed was the international forces, United States and NATO. So Afghanistan, after the removal of Taliban, formed a new constitution. For the first time in the history of Afghanistan, the people experienced and they had the right to go and vote and choose their own president and send their representative in the parliament. So this democracy has brought for the sake of 9/11. So what we say, 9/11 had brought many changes, but it didn't change the fate of people of America as much as it changed the fate of the people in Afghanistan and the suffering identity of all Muslims in the world. That it reflected a bad thing, and all the people, they cannot separate two theories, the Wahhabism and the real Islam, from each other. They think all the Muslims or the theory of Islam is all like this, teaching violence, which is untrue. So now 27% of the women, now they have seats in parliament. Yesterday they had no right to go outside. Yesterday they will be not counting as human beings. Now they are getting power. Even for the presidential election candidates, there were women who gained lots of votes. Afghan National Army and National Police is rebuilt, and now about 180,000 Afghan National Army is there. But still, they are not enough equipped, they are not enough trained to be able to take the responsibility of the security of Afghanistan and the region. That's why still there are needs for the coalition forces. Of course, as I said, war is not a good thing. I showed you the positive part, but you can see that now the negative part. The war is always bad. Always war is bad. So you can see the red in this graph. You can see the red is the percentage of the dates in 9/11. You can see the gray with the US casualties in both wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, 0.55%. And you can see the percentage of the casualties, civilians in Afghanistan. The blue color, which is 4.39, and the rest is the casualties of Iraq. So Iraq war is also somehow has links with the 9/11 and that issue, but it's out of our discussion. So still they claim, and when it start war on terror continued, they start another war in 2003 with Iraq convention. And still, things need to be changed. You can see this is a graph from the United Nations. So this shows the opium, which heroin is made by opium. So the growth of opium or the usage of opium in the time of regime of Taliban, like from 1994 up to 2001, you can see it's down. But after the US and NATO forces, they come in Afghanistan to provide more security and to remove these numbers. But you see, oppositely, it's increased. And even, unfortunately, we have up to 2009 in here, and up to 2012, even it's increased more. So you can see this is the negative part of the war. Still, they cannot control it. Even maybe they are good customers there. The market is very warm. They're taking home, so they don't need to bring it to the other markets. And some people are arguing that they are taking the cost of their war from the drug.
Yeah, CIA, for example.
Yeah, and there is one state in Afghanistan. It's called Helmand. There is competition between British forces and American forces to take the control of this state. This state, by the reports of the United Nations, is providing 2/3 of the heroin of the world. Only one state.
And politicians in Afghanistan are earning money.
Yeah, of course.
This is a very corrupt government. Absolutely corrupt.
Yeah, it's corrupt. I will come to that one. So, if you have any questions or confusion, you can stop me anytime and you can ask me. So, future security in Afghanistan. 2014. What is in 2014? In 2014, there will be lots of things will be happening in Afghanistan, like withdrawal of US and NATO forces. The same time, presidential election in Afghanistan. It sounds so stupid. You would think that, see, the security forces don't need to take the security of an election campaign which is very important in political changes in a country. But they are leaving before the election starts.
Can you kindly tell something about the different tribes and the importance of, let's say, the Pashto tribe and so on, who is having the power? Which tribe? Because this is very important.
The power, of course, the power has a tribe which has the majority. The more majority is the Pashtun tribe, and the Taliban are mostly they are from Pashtun, so this divides the power of the tribe less. So that's why this tribe can be in two parts, one part to supporting Taliban, the other part supporting the government. So the power is not so balanced there.
Which tribe was supported by the US government? The Bush?
Bush regime was supporting
I still can record. It's still recording. And yours?
security concerns in Afghanistan and region, and possible return of Taliban. They give sacrifice, they killed lots of people, and lots of civilians died, and they give the sacrifice of the life of their soldiers. But what happened? Main goals of the war, they didn't reach. Like you saw the last week in the speech of Bush, we will follow all the terrorists. This war on terror will be continue till all the terrorist camps will be destroyed and all terrorists will be removed. Does it happen?
And what do you think?
No.
What is the reason behind it? Who is earning from selling weapons, isn't it?
Of course, this is a big discussion.
It is an industrial military complex in the
But
US.
even they don't care about the lives of their own kids.
Go on. Just keep discussing.
War is not ended, but they seem to be going home. So what is that? The security concerns still remains there, what they can for. And this is very possible that the new government, or after the elections of 2014, the Taliban came back in the power. So there will be no change. Again, the same story will happen.